Welcome, everybody, to the Chevy Nova 7374 Nova Show. And sorry, I'm a little late starting. It's just after 6. So I'll wait a few minutes for everybody to log in and join. And then we'll start today's programming. So nobody's logged in yet. Oh, here we go. Our first person today, Jake Moen. How you doing, sir? Welcome to the Chevy Nova Show. You are the first. I'm running a little late. I'm sorry, guys. Usually I like to, be prompt and stuff, but I forgot my notes. So I also brought my laptop out here to help if there's any questions on that so I can read up. Oh, somebody sent me chat. Yeah, I'm on now. So we'll just wait. Oh, a few more people join. Ray, how you doing, buddy? He's from California. And Nick, I want to say Dason. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. I've got a really bad habit of slaughtering names up here. So, Jake, I'm doing good. Thanks for asking. Just waiting for it to warm up so I can fire up the old beast, set the timing, and start driving, because I need to take some more pictures. And Richard here, he's from the East Coast, I believe, up in Canada with me, and you're in worse shape than I am. It's just cold here. It's 30 degrees Fahrenheit or -2, but the snow's gone. They're light flurries, but they're melting as soon as they hit the ground. But you, sir, are buried in snow, and I feel bad for you. And I'm with Richard there when everybody's posting pictures of, oh, it's 70 out and blah, blah, blah. I hate you, because my car's still stuck here, and it's not fair. So, okay, I got the one name right on. So I got a few viewers. What did I do with my notes? I just brought them in here. Okay, here we go. So I wanted to talk today basically on stuff that I've read on the forum this past week about the Lacar shifter column rod thingy. I actually have that on my car, and whether or not you guys want to get into the neutral safety switches or whatever. There's been talk about seatbelts in cars and headlights. So those were a few things I was going to try and touch topic on. Of course, you guys feel free to chat amongst yourselves as well. This isn't just for me here. You guys are more than welcome to talk to each other, get to know everybody. All right. So hopefully the sound's good. I've moved the microphone around, and I got it on a longer cord, so if I go for a walk, I can take the microphone with me so you guys can hear me. I noticed posted on the forum today, I'm just going to do a little quick view here. We have some people who are asking for questions and opinions. And we love questions and opinions because then we get to give them. All right. I believe Kim, Miss Nova Girl, she wants to know what kind of exhaust system everybody's running. So if you guys haven't had a chance yet, go onto the forum there and let Kim know what you're running for exhaust. And if you have a video of a clip, might as well throw that up there too. It's always good to hear what other people's cars sound like. And you know, it's funny, as much now with all the different combinations of cars there are, or combinations you can build out there, everybody's car has a distinctive sound. It all sounds different, except 5-liter Mustangs. You ever notice how those things always sound terribly and horribly the same? So yeah, so Kim's asking about that. And then we have, I believe it's Dieter. I hope I'm pronouncing your name right, Dieter. I feel really bad. I feel like I'm not pronouncing that right. He's also posting, looks like he wants to know if his car looks better with a bit of a rake or how it's sitting now. So if you guys get a chance there, give her a reply to these guys. I see we've got 4 viewers, so I'm just going to wait a few more minutes for people to log in. Again, I'm a little late today, so I apologize. And I don't know what you guys do for your cars for spring or anything, but I tend to put a piece of paper in the wipers and then start doing some of the stuff. Like I had to set up my distributor again, so I have all those notes in that. So I put that in the windshield. because I find at times I have a hard time remembering between the two cars. Last week, you guys saw I was trying to talk about wiring, and some of you guys, I had the camera running on a Friday night, just working in the garage. If any of you guys wanted to join, it wasn't meant to be saved or anything. That I was doing wiring to try and put a switch on the relay for my sniper. That didn't work. I got upset, and I ripped all that wiring out. So, yeah, we're back to square one on that. Oh, no, Rich. I did not mean that a Nova with Flowbusters sounds like a Mustang. I was trying to say that Novas all have a distinctive sound. I've never heard two Novas that are the same, but I swore and I used Ford Mustang and how they always sound the same. But if somebody did make that comparison on the forum, we'll be sure to send them an administrative warning. Mr. Doug Toe, he's joining us, I believe, from Seattle, Washington, or out on the West Coast. He's got a 73 Nova. And I think there's going to be one night we'll do brake bleeding and how to bleed a brake system so we can help Doug out with his car. If anybody's over in the Seattle area, Doug could use some assistance. I could use some assistance helping Doug. So, again, guys, feel free to speak up, chat amongst yourselves as well. And earlier this week, I posted a thing about names for our stream. And there was one that Jeff posted that made me laugh. I laughed out loud when I saw it. Let's see if I can find it here. See if I can find it quickly here. Okay, here we are. Yes, there was 26 comments. I appreciate you guys taking a moment. Oh, just adjust the camera so if you're getting motion 6. Sorry. I don't think that did anything. Oh. There we go. Now you can't see my fat. One of the comments, and I really kind of wanted to go with this, but it was kind of a selfish one, was, where was it now? One sec here. I want to see all the comments, but I can't see them all. Where was it here? Jeff Camp's one. 73, 74, Nova Therapy with Dave and Friends. That one made me laugh really loud, and I almost went with it. That was a close second, but I wanted to keep it generic. I also wanted to keep it within the theme of this group with the name kind of worked into it. So I just went with Chevy Nova 73, 74, Nova Show. All right. Oh, look at that. So Nick just found out some history on his Nova there. About the owner 2 owners ago did some big stuff like engine transmission on the car, used to bring it to the drag strip, and it ran 10s. That's very respectable. To me, that's very fast. And yeah, that's probably why it sounds very mean. All right, well, it's about 11 after 6, so I'm going to get started. Again, please feel free to jump in with questions, comments, anything, or talks amongst yourselves. Let's start with, first of all, a little disclaimer here. By no means am I being paid to endorse any particular product or any particular brand of automotive parts or products. This is just stuff that either I've heard from word of mouth from friends or through my own research or being on forums and talking to you people to why I have bought this stuff. So again, I'm not being paid or am I not endorsing products. It's just merely a suggestion, and everything is of my own opinion. And when I do talk about parts and setups and stuff like that, again, please do your research too and make sure that you know what you're doing too, because I'd hate for you to take my advice, and if I'm wrong, which has happened, and something gets screwed up, like make sure you always double check your findings and advice. First, I'm going to start off with this Mother's Mag and aluminum polish. Been using this stuff, and you got to tend to work it well on the rims and stuff like that. I used it on my girlfriend Chevelle, who's actually Shelly has just joined me here.
Okay.
Shelly, this is my girlfriend Shelly. She's the one who owns that Chevelle I showed last week. But we use that polish on all our aluminum and mags, and it did a great job. You just got to use a terry cloth, and you really work it in. You really work the paste in, and it actually does a great job. I used it to clean up the bumper on the Omega pretty good, and that's what I used to clean up my Sniper, and I've probably beaten this joke to death already. Nobody likes a dirty Sniper. So, all right, so we talked, just mentioned the mother's polish, good stuff. We were talking about a gentleman wanted to know what the tab on his steering column was, and we told basically it was for shifter linkage from the transmission. Now, I went years ago, I had to replace mine because I had so much slop and the pieces of the factory linkage where it comes down from the steering column and it went to another piece, to a bar that went across into the frame and to the transmission. And it wore so bad. I had so much slop that I found when I was going to the track, I had a hard time shifting and getting my shifts crisp because who knew how sloppy it was and when it was going to finally shift. So did some research and found out through, I believe it was through Steve's Nova site, the forum. I went and I purchased from the car, it is the adjustable billet column arm kit. So what you do, and it comes with the post. So basically the post goes from the steering arm to the transmission, and you can cut it accordingly. But I noticed, and I bought a spare one because I wanted one for the Omega as well, because I was going to hook that up so that little tab on the column as it moves controls the neutral safety switch on the steering column. So I bought a spare one that I was going to use into the Omega, but it ended up my shifter and all that had micro switches for the neutral safety switch, so it turns out I didn't need it. But you get a couple like these rag joints here with, I don't know the official names of them, but they pivot. One goes on the trans end, one goes on the other end, and that's what bolts to the column. This will bolt to the transmission. And you get this piece here. This goes on to the transmission. So as you move the arm, it shifts gears. And of course, so if you want, I'll take you for a quick walk here to my car, and I'll show you how I have it installed. So those who are getting motion sick, you might just want to take a minute to look away as we go for a walk. Oh, under the cable, over here. And here we got, right there, can you guys see it? That's where it's hooked up on my steering column, and it goes right down to the transmission. And yeah, it's very simple. I had that installed in about 5 minutes. Actually, Shelly, do you want to grab the keys off the top of the workbench there and go inside and give us a demonstration? Yeah, that's the one. So Shelly's going to go demonstrate for us how this works. No, the battery's not on, so you'll have to, of course, turn the ignition on. And so I don't know if you can see down by the transmission there. So see, very simple. The rod turns that piece on the transmission. Those joints pivot. Thank you, Shelly. And there you go. Because I could not find the stock. Oh, forgive me again for the wobbliness here. I could not find the stock replacements for the, thank you, for the shifter arm, and that was the closest thing I came to. Again, that's the Lecar ACA 1800, the adjustable billet column arm kit for Turbo 350, 400, and 700s. And you can make one yourself. I forget what this package cost, but if you're handy, if you're somewhat handy, which typically I'm not, but my buddy is, you can get these throttle ball joints, solid type, and you screw get a piece of rod, screw it in here, which will go to the column. You just got to find a piece to put on the transmission, and you could make your own if you wanted. So Yeah, so that's the column shifter arm. I don't know if anybody has any questions here. Ooh. If anybody has any questions on that or wants to see it again. Again, very simple to fix. Yeah, Doug and Rich, they both have used that mother's polish. Or Doug needs some, but Richard's used it. And yeah, I love that stuff. And James has joined us. Welcome, James. We were just talking about the Lecar adjustable billet column arm kit for the Turbo 350. And I imagine you could probably use that on other cars too, like Chevelles or whatnot. Or
That?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. It's very generic. Yeah.
But we're not talking about Chevelles. We're talking about Novas because it's Nova time. But I threw that in there. All right, what's next? Well, again, neutral safety switch. That would be one reason why you'd want to connect it, even if you have a floor shifter, because I believe the plate that goes on the transmission has provisions to put both that column arm as well as the shifter arm so that it turns the steering column to affect the neutral safety switch. But if you have an aftermarket shifter, B&M and that stuff like that, you can just easily wire in the micro switches, which we could talk about wiring underneath the dash if you need help. We can show you pictures and stuff like that. But yeah, neutral safety switch. There's been a lot of talk this week about headlights, aftermarket headlights, and what are good ones to buy. A few people on the forum have bought the H4 conversion lights from Octane Lighting. I don't know the model numbers that they were purchased, but Nova girl, Kim, she had some good luck installing them. And one of our Nova brothers didn't have such good luck on his. I can't remember which member that was, but his were very dim. And to me, that seemed like something was wired wrong myself when it's super dim like that.
Like a short, or a partial short.
Yeah. When I had a trouble with my headlights originally in the Omega, I had the ground and one of the, I believe it was the ground and the low beam. I had those two wires reversed, and it actually affected where my low beams were super dim, but my high beams were fine. So you might want to double check the wiring on that, unless you're plugging it straight into the factory harness, where maybe check the grounds that are on the radiator cradle. But the lights I got are the United Pacific 37.9s. And the reason why I went with United Pacific was back when Octane Lighting didn't have DOT ratings on theirs. So by no means am I trying to say one's better than the other. Just up here in Canada, in Manitoba especially, they're pretty hard on us on cruise night, on modifications to our cars to make sure they're legal. So you got to make sure all the parts you buy have DOT, which is Department of Transportation approval. That's why I went with the United Pacific Lighting, and they come with a regular 9003 bulb. Here, I got one right here. So this is the headlight that we use, and as you can see by the plug, that'll go straight into the factory harness. Yeah, make sure I don't touch the bulb with my fingers, because apparently they explode. Yeah, Doug, I don't know the cost of the Lecar column arm, but I could easily look that up and get that back to you. Logan has joined us he's from Airedale, Alberta, and that's close to Calgary. And he just got his 406 for his Nova, so looking forward to seeing that car get put together and back on the road. Brandon, how you doing? Thanks for joining us. Oh, and Logan, I have an assistant today who's hiding. You want to say hi to Logan? My assistant, Shelly, is my girlfriend. She's helping me out today. Oh, okay, Nick, when I first got my Nova, all the lighting was messed up. Reverse lights would come on instead of low beams. Makes me laugh knowing somebody who hooked it up wrong. Yeah, it's probably not too hard to do. I mean, well, reverse lights, that's a completely different connector. But I mean, we could definitely help you out if you still need assistance with that, or if you have that all straightened out. But the headlights, like I said, they would plug into your factory wiring, but I tried something different. Let me just get the link of the site I went to. It was, I believe it's the 12volt.com, but I want to get you guys the exact, and not to plug my own website, but chevynova.ca/73nova. I have my webpage where I've put links that have been very helpful to me over time. And it's more been a diary for me, but of course you guys are welcome to use it. I put all the links to everything on here, and I tried to keep it fairly updated. So let's just go down to the electrical.
Quick thing, this linkage
Yep.
kit is $62.99 US.
Doug, the linkage kit is $63 US, according to Shelly. And that's from where?
Summit.
Summit Racing. Yes, the 12volt.com. This is actually a really good site for electrical wiring and stuff like that. And what I did is I took a piece off of his website, and with some relays, and that's where, again, I have that on my webpage with diagrams and all that. What I've done is I'm pulling power from my battery. So when I turn on my headlights, the power to my headlights is not coming through the car, through the factory wiring, which would be whatever the alternator is putting out. I think it may drop down to like 12 something of that, as opposed to 14.4 when there's no load. So what I've done is I've got my headlights power coming from the battery. And to do that, I also wired a distribution point here where I pull power from, but the power comes to the relay, and as soon as you turn on the headlights, I got the factory wiring going into the relays to trigger. When the relays are activated, the power then switches from the factory to the battery, and now I'm pulling the light power off the battery, which is supposed to be a lot brighter. When I did my Omega originally, I did one headlight with a relay, and the other headlight I left with the factory wiring, and it was just a little bit brighter. So again, I got a schematic for that on my website, and I've posted the link, but I can post it again if you guys want. And also the 12volt.com. There's also another one, and I believe this is this one here I've used a lot too. Is where is it? madelectrical.com. He's actually got a great selection of articles. He as well has one on the brighter headlights, and actually I believe that was the article I used, so I was mistaken. It was not the 12 volt, but it's still a good site. But the article I used was from Mad Electrical, and actually it's right on his electrical, the first thing that comes up, brighter headlights. So I'm just going to take a quick look here. Okay, so Nick's got everything all wired up, all figured out. And Kim, Miss Nova Girl, she's logged in. Good evening, Kim. I was putting a shout out to your thread earlier to everybody to make sure they get onto the forum and answer your question about exhaust systems, what you're running, and if you have a sound or video clip. So that's what I did with the headlights. Again, I got the schematic on the website. I can post a link to that if anybody's interested in seeing that again. And then, is there any questions? If I'm going too fast or whatever, please butt in. I tend to ramble and get excited easily, and then I just start going off. But I am medicated, so it should slow me down a little bit. You know, medication wears down throughout the day. And one of my Nova brothers, Greg from Winnipeg, he's just joined us. Hello, Greg. How you doing? Have you made any progress on your Nova? Although I know the answer to that. It's probably been 3 years. I'm waiting for my parts. But actually, just bugging Greg. I tried to bribe him into coming over and hosting the show tonight with me, and apparently the pizza was a no-go, so I may try again next week. And then next, I was going to bring up the seatbelt modifications that I've done in my Nova, because I've seen a few people post about seatbelts. Okay, no, I've never, I forget, we talked about using the horn relay for, I believe it was for pulling power instead of connecting to the battery. Refresh my memory there, Kim. I never did I just, because I got double posts, the car hooks up naturally onto the side still, and then my fuel injector, my EFI hooks up straight to the battery on the top, along with my lights and, well, electric fan as well. I forgot all about that horn relay. So yeah, Kim, if you can refresh my memory. Hey, Dylan, how you doing, buddy? Thanks for joining us tonight. So you tore your front clip apart. New core support and fender is getting there. Should be there soon. Any recommendations? Yeah, take your time. Do it right. I mean, you got it all apart. Might as well get it all done right. Please post pictures on the forum because we'd love to see it. I'm kind of curious what you're doing for fenders. Did you get new fenders as well, or are you using the original fenders? Brandon. Have you had any problems with the distributor and firewall? Oh, yes. In short, yes. Let's see. Okay, let's put a little light back here. Okay, I'm going to move the camera again, so if you guys are going to get motion sick, look away. When I originally installed HEI into the Nova, there was an issue. I couldn't get it in because it was hitting the firewall, especially once I started to lower the motor in. So what I ended up doing is I took a 2x4 and with a hammer on the other end, I hammered in the firewall to flatten it in a bit to get the cap to fit. But it was so close that I actually put a piece of rubber from an inner tube behind it to keep it from arcing out against the firewall. While I was doing that, the 2x4 split, and I put the hammer through my original fan shroud. So my original 73 fan shroud got decimated. And then losing my cool, I removed the rest of that fan shroud with the hammer. But yes, it is very tight. Like I said, I had to hammer and massage. And you got to be careful doing that too, because you don't want to split the seam of the firewall at the back. But now with running the Holley dual sync distributor, it's got the small cap, and I have no issues with clearance. But here, I'm just going to put the camera back here. So again, sorry for the motion. I'm just going to check on the Omega here. Let's see what kind of space I have here. Okay. On my 74, of course, again, this is an Omega. I'm assuming the Novas are the same. The 74 has an indent in the firewall, so I have no problems on the Omega with the large HEI cap. The other thing I've always done, too, with the Nova, when I had HEI in here, is I always pulled the distributor before doing anything with the transmission or the motor, because you don't want the motor to tilt back and snap your distributor. All right, so Kim just got back to me here, and according to the Mad Electrical guy, she was informed to use the horn relay instead of the battery. So you know what, Kim, I'm definitely going to look into that because that is interesting. I guess I've always used the battery in the past. I never thought about that. Again, when you brought that up and when we talked about that, and then I forgot about it. So I'm going to have to look into that again, but that is interesting. And I still actually have to talk to the Mad Electrician. And Dylan was has used fenders that were in very good shape. But Richard has tried the reproduction fenders, and he said the gaps are terrible. Ended up fixing his originals, and they fit much better. Now, you're not the first person I've heard that. I've also heard that the aftermarket fenders have a terrible point right here and are not nice and flush and round like our stock fenders. And you know things are never as good repo as the original, so I was probably wise to fix the original fender. Be honest on the HEI. When I did the points to HEI conversion, that was back in 2000. I did that. I was very new, very green, and like I say, when it didn't fit, I was pretty upset about it, but being convinced by my buddy, hammered out the firewall, and I was able to fit it. And again, I used a piece of inner tube that I riveted on the firewall just to prevent any arcing because it was that close to the cap. But any work, like I said, I did on the motor, if I had to tilt the tranny of that, you want to remove that distributor because it was so tight it would have snapped on the firewall. And actually, James, on my Omega, it is a small block Chevy that's in it, so it's not an Oldsmobile. I believe the Oldsmobiles are right at the front. Hey, Mike. Mike's joined us. Welcome. I was a little late, too. Welcome. And same with Robert Martino from Phoenix, Arizona. Welcome, brother. And again, Brandon, when you're hammering that firewall, I don't know if you want to use a board to do it or if you want to use a hammer and just lightly massage it, but take your time doing it because, again, you don't want to split that seam along the wall. And if you can, take your carb off so you have lots of room with the hammer because last thing you want to do is hit the carb, which is why I was using a 2x4. And, I was holding the 2x4 and wham! I don't have very good aim. But, oh, yeah, that was a very upsetting evening. Just thinking about that now is making me twitch. And Richard Beal, hopefully I'm saying that correctly. He has joined us. Welcome, Richard. How you doing? We were talking earlier about the, if you want to watch earlier, we were talking about the Lacar adjustable billet column arm kit, which replaces the factory linkage from your steering column to the transmission. Because you can't get that factory rotating one anymore, and that's the replacement that you're able to get. So we talked about that. We're talking about headlights and running the batteries and what I've done there. We just finished talking about HEI. Hey, Cody, how you doing, buddy? Cody, do you still have your Nova, or did you sell it? I know he had a beautiful light green Nova there at one time, and he talked about selling it. I don't know if he did or not. Either way, welcome. And I guess next would be the seatbelts. Now, here in Manitoba, back in the fall of 2016, they silently changed what we have called the Highway Traffic Act, which is the laws, the road laws. Originally, the law used to be if you had a two-piece seatbelt, the only belt that was mandatory was the pelvic belt. You didn't have to use the shoulder belt. I never used the shoulder belt in the Nova because, for one, it didn't retract, and I just hated how it just kind of, was laggy. And one time I left the seatbelt connected, and when it's on the buckle, it's such a big, huge concoction. And I closed the door, I cut my door panel. Ooh, so that was the first and last time I ever used that shoulder belt. So they changed that seatbelt law. And that kind of sucked. So I had to do something. Either I had to use the seatbelt or I had to convert to get retractable shoulder belts. A friend of mine, Pat Burasa, if I'm saying that correctly, he has a 71 Nova. He's in some of the other forums like Chevy Nova Nation. And I saw his car at the car show, and I noticed he had retractable seat belts. So I checked it out, and he had these belts from Morris Classic Concepts that were called the 3-point conversion, 3-point retractable seat belts. Looked at that, loved them, bought them, installed them. It took me, really, it should take you about 5 to 10 minutes to install. It took me about an hour and a half because I had one bolt, one of the big seatbelt bolts in the back. I couldn't get out. Ended up rounding it, had to go out and buy a nut extractor to eventually pull it out, got it out, installed it, and we were done. But really, that install took all of about 10 minutes to do, but I had to have a little fun. And Brandon, yes. Brandon just got one. Just wondering, what did you get there, Brandon? And he says, okay, he'll take the carb off. Yeah, so hopefully I've saved you a little world of pain there. James Murphy has joined us. Hey, James, how you doing? And Mike Penny has made a bushing for the frame side of the shifter linkage, but he couldn't find a replacement. Actually, making that bushing on the frame side, I ended up using a rubber foot out of a computer case just hollowed it out and it fit nice. But the part I had trouble with that I had to replace my column was where that the linkage from the steering column, the rod that came down, that little round piece that bolted in on that arm, the shifter arm. The shifter arm had elongated so bad that, you know, you could just rattle it, the piece, and even fully tight and bolted, there was so much slop and I had difficulty shifting at the track, and that's why I replaced it. But I still do have the factory linkage. In fact, do I have it handy here? Yes. No, I don't. Oh, yes, I do. Okay, so here it is. That's the wrong one. Okay, I got it. So this is the factory one right here. So this is what bolted up to your column, and then it came down to this pivoting arm, as Mike is talking about. And the bushing is right here on this end, like he says. And actually, I made one out of hard plastic. Well, I guess I made a couple. And this would bolt into the arm like this, and that was your shifting. What has happened here is I got so much slop from that whole elongating, and I can't find this piece, or at the time couldn't find this piece on the net. I don't know if they make repo of it now, but with it tight, there was so much slop here and wiggling that it was impossible for me to have a crisp shift at the track. And that's when I eventually found the Lakar ACA 1800, $63 at Summit. All right, next, I put a bell on my driver's side. Okay, now they want to see the seatbelts. Oh, Bruce Chase, happy birthday, sir. He has joined us. It was his birthday not too long ago. And Brandon, if you can, the linkage for the transmission, if you want, I'll go back and I'll show you the video of it in my car again if you missed it. Or I can post pictures. And then, okay, so you guys want to see the seatbelts. Okay, hold on here because we're going to go for a little walk. So you might get motion sick. And I'm going to take the mic with me this time. Okay. All right, let's see how much room I got with the camera here. Oh, Shelly, can you get that? My lovely girlfriend's helping me in the garage tonight. Perfect. Okay. And Shelly, can I trouble you with hold the camera here? Okay. So as you can see here, I now have retractable seatbelts. And it's very easy. Let's see if I can get the camera. Can you just pick up that cord? What you do is here's the retractor down here. So you change that, you put that retractor in, and then there's another bolt there for the belt on the other end. I don't know, can you guys see that okay, or do I need a light? Can you pass me a light by the distributor? Sorry guys, I know this is a bad demo. Company's probably not pleased on. Okay, so here we go, black interior. So here's the retractor. Bolts right in the floor there. And then what you got to do is you got to remove the shoulder belt. This just pops down. There's 2 bolts there. And you just anchor it up there. And that's it. That's all it is. And then, of course, you repeat on the other side. And this is the bolt here. That took me almost an hour to get out. The factory bolt. Oh, I found the ratchet. But that's it right there, folks. The only thing is with this retractor, as you can see, it's pretty bulky. It does hit on the door a little bit, so I actually bent the bracket, but you can see where it's made a bit of an indent on my door panel. But you know what? I can live with a little bit of an indent versus, what is it, a $300 ticket? And that is the Morris Classic Concept seat belts. And you can get them for bucket and bench seat. Thank you, Shelley. All right. And I do have an install video. I actually made a video of myself installing it, so I can post the video if you guys want to see. Really, it is easy. So I can definitely share that if you guys would like. Okay. Yes, that is correct. Mike's correct there. There is that, and that's actually where that little wiring piece, I believe, goes under the hood on 74s, where the dealerships had a piece they would plug into that so that they could start the car and bypass that system. So yes, interesting tidbit there, Mike. So if you folks could take a moment to read that. I know the 73, you should have, I believe there was a switch, like a pad inside the seat for the seat belts, that if you didn't, that seatbelt light and buzzer would come on. I know mine are still hooked up. But yeah, that's a very interesting tidbit. And there we go. Here's a second person to also agree about the 3-point seatbelts. Miss Nova Girl has them. And Kim, did you install them yourself? Any troubles or anything that you may have had that you might want to share? Jason, how you doing, sir? Welcome. And my buddy Zach, I believe he's from Saskatchewan, so that's one province to the west. Welcome, sir. Oh, sorry, Brandon, I misunderstood you. Brandon had ordered the shifter linkage.
Whoops.
So again, that's where I'm going a little too fast here, and I'm getting ahead of myself. So I apologize that I misheard you. And yeah, Jason just checking in. Welcome, Jason. We were talking about earlier the Lacar, what's the official name of it? Adjustable billet column arm kit for the Turbo 350, Turbo 400 transmissions. We touched briefly on headlights and running headlight power from the battery. And as Kim brought up through mattelectrical.com, there's a way that you can pull power off the horn relay as well. So I'm going to look into that. That's very interesting. Yes, Mike is correct. The 74s were actually the first year that came with the retractable seat belts, which had the retractor in the ceiling and anchored on the bottom. The problem is with the 74 retractor being on the ceiling, in 73, there is no frame bracing or mounts on the roof, because I thought about getting a pair of seat belts from a 74 and putting them in the 73. Figured, why not, right? No can do. There's no supports up in the ceiling for it, and they don't bolt up. Oh, Brandon, you got to get yourself some seat belts, buddy, man. That's dangerous. So yeah, Kim installed them herself. Took her 10 minutes aside. So she obviously had better luck than I did. The seat belts, I believe from Summit or from Morris website, they were $329. Let me find out exactly for you here. Morris Classic seat belts. I go to that site so often here that it's actually in my favorites, because I got everybody asking. They start from the bucket seats or bed, yeah, $324.99. Now, I had bought my set through Summit, and the reason I went to Summit versus Morris's website, and Morris, their website is morrisclassic.com. So morrisclassic, one word.com. And it's right there. You can get them with buckets or bench. The difference, the bucket ones have the hard plastic for your seatbelt buckle, and the bench don't have that housing so that you can fit it through the bench seat. Hi-ya!
Nice.
Oh, I got, yeah, and okay, sorry, got distracted there. I went through Summit to buy my seatbelts because it was about this time of year that I had bought them. Was it last year I bought them or the year before? Anyway, we had World of Wheels, which is a big car show in the spring, and Summit has their catalogs with coupons for 10% off. So I waited, got the book, got the coupon, bought them through Summit, And like Kim says, and I'll back her up, very easy to install. I'll send you the video, Brandon. Here, let me make a note. I'll send you the video of the install. Hopefully you don't have kids. I do have the swearing bleeped out. I think there was a few sharp words. That was mostly when I was bleeding. Did you have any problems installing, Kim? Any blood or that, or was yours pretty trouble-free? I had a little adventure with mine. So, okay. So, forgive me, I'm just making a note here so I can get back to you, Brandon. Oh, we got 11 viewers. Wow. That's pretty cool. Okay, so Richard actually answered Brandon. Thanks for jumping in there, Rich. So maybe Brandon, let's try and see if I can dig out my stock seatbelts. We should send you something because not that I'm going to preach here on the Chevy Nova 7374 Nova Hour, but dude, you got to be safe. I don't have many viewers as it is, and I need you. Kim has mentioned as well that Classics Industries sells them. Thank you, Kim. And then Robert's still with the lap belt for now because he's going to get a 5-point soon enough. So, okay, there we go. So that all caught up in the chat. Again, if you guys want to chat with each other, please feel free to do so. Don't just listen to me ramble, but I mean, you can if you want. That's why I'm here. And yes, that's correct, Kim. That's a very good point I forgot to bring up. That kit you order with the seatbelts has everything in it. In fact, I'll post the link again of the package because I took a picture of opening the box with everything that's included, the tools, everything. It's beautiful. Yeah, the bolts, the hardware,
Like the seatbelt.
everything.
Nice.
Everything, even the bolts that anchor it in the roof.
Yeah.
And do use the new bolts because you don't know how stressed the old hardware is. So do use the new hardware that is provided. So excellent, Kim. Yeah. And what I did, and I read this in the instructions, and it worked beautifully, is if you got a chase the holes before you put the new hardware in. So yeah, Brandon, again, we can post the links for you afterwards to Classics Industry and Morris Classic Summit. I actually have the part number. Do you need for buckets or bench? And you can get the ones that have the actual GM logo on them. So I should have shown you that while I was over there. So it actually looks like the factory seatbelt when you get pulled over. Okay, yeah, Mike just said you can actually find cheap 3-point belts on eBay for $30, which is safer and better than nothing. Yep. So thank you, everybody, for helping on the seatbelt there to get Brandon going. And Brandon, again, I'll share that video. It's on my website as well in the Project Mean Green section if you want to see it, or I can post the link for it later. I think also if you go to my YouTube channel, chevynova.ca, that's the actual name of the YouTube channel as well. I have the video listed there. So that's pretty much all I've got for right now. We've been on for 48 minutes, so not quite an hour. So I guess I can open up the floor if you guys have any questions, comments, or you want me to go over something again. I'm good at repeating myself. $30 for brand new belts. That's I don't know if I would trust a $30 belt, Mike. Are they brand name ones, or that just makes me nervous? Okay, so Brandon says he has buckets. So let's go to that link here, and I'm assuming. Okay, so we go to 73 here. I'm not going to ask you what, and you probably want the GM push button. Okay, and black. They have pictures, but I showed you what it looked like, but. I love how it says on the website, sold as a pair. Because what, you're just going to upgrade one side? And apparently they also sell them for back seats as well. The 3-point seat belts for back seat kits at Morris Classic Concept. And I'm assuming that'll be the same at Summit and Classic Industries as well. But again, check it out. And Brandon, I'll send you the part number here. MCSBGM-5-BK. So let me just hit reply here for Brandon. Part number, and this is from the Morris website, but I think it's the same at Summit as well. Is MCSBGM-5-BK, because I'm assuming you want black. There you go, Brandon. I put that in the chat, and we'll include that more later. So where was I in the chat here? Okay, and the part number. So yeah, floor is open if y'all have any questions or anything. And then also was talking earlier about the Mother's Mag and aluminum polish. That's what I've been using on my car. Again, just word of mouth. I'm by no means being paid by mothers or the car to advertise their products or push them. These are products that I've just come across, research through forums, other Nova users like you guys, or seen people who've had the parts in their cars, and that's why I bought them. So again, I'm not trying to push any products, but yeah.
Do you have those before and after pictures of my rims from the white Chevelle?
I do actually. Actually, Shelly brought up a good point there. If anybody's interested, I could also post the before and after pictures of the rims on Shelly's Chevelle that we used. What was it, about 2 or 3 of these on?
Yeah.
And it really brought it out with.
They were rough.
Yeah. Yeah, we thought we got a heck of a deal on rims, and yeah. Still scored. It still was a decent deal, but
they're okay for just the booting around town, but not for what I need them for.
Oh, look at that. Okay, yeah. Thanks, Kim. If those of you who have pets, yes, pets need seatbelts. Please do not drive with your dog on your lap. Man, that drives me nuts. Seatbelt Solutions. Make a seatbelt for the K9 Copilot. So Kim has shared that. Kim, if you got a link, by all means, post it. And the seatbelts there, Doug, I posted it's the same part number for Brandon. Those are for the bucket seats. But I can send that to you again if you need. And Mike has provided us, Mike Penny has provided us with the link for the eBay seatbelts. And Larry, how you doing, buddy? I see you checking in. Got here now. See how the seatbelt conversations. I need new seatbelts with retractors for my 74. I was basically talking about the ones for the 73 because 73 are different. They're just the lower lap belt that's retractable. I still haven't had time to go into my shed to see if I got a set of 74 seatbelts, if I have any in stock. If not, maybe Trevor with the 72 Nova, he may have some seatbelts with the cars he's parted out. But yeah, you know what? I can quickly talk about those seatbelts again. What did I do? My flashlights over there. Okay, so again, if you're getting motion sick, hang on. My beautiful assistant Shelly here. Need you to the camera. Okay, I'll hold the camera.
Oh, you want me to hold it?
I got the camera. Yeah, we're going for a walk again.
I'll go get the.
Yeah, just watch the cord on the bump because if we disconnect, then people are done. I can't afford to lose any more viewers. Oh, I wouldn't worry about the mic so much. Oh yeah, whatever. So thank you, Shelly, for bringing the mic, my lovely assistant. Okay, there we go. So again, with the seatbelt, and here's the retractor end, like I said, with the GM.
Are you looking? Okay.
Yeah.
I can't see what I'm.
Oh, that's okay. I'll bring this.
Okay.
You can get it with the GM logo. Or hopefully that's not too much light. And again, the bench seat ones.
Oh.
The bench seat ones don't have the plastic. The bucket seat ones do. I have a picture of that label if you want to see it. And again, for 73, this is the retractor. It's on the bottom, and it anchors to the top. So as you can see over there, just anchors to the top. It replaces that shoulder belt that's non-retracted. And that's it down there. As opposed to the 74. Oh, is that car open? Oh, there goes that. I didn't need that. It's an empty bottle of polish. Whereas 74, you got the retractor on both the bottom and the top here. Kind of handy having one of each car. All right, so again, the 74s have the retractor in the roof here, and there's actually bracing in that roof for that retractor, so you can't just bolt those into a 73. I've tried. And then again, you got your retractor down there. And yeah, you know, it doesn't hurt to carry a fire hydrant. That's the
fire extinguisher.
Yeah, fire hydrant. Yeah. Carry a whole fire hydrant in the car. Carry a fire extinguisher in your car. Because if you're like me, we have whoopsies. But yeah, Larry, I'll check in the shed when I'm able to. I don't know if I'll have time before the weekend because I will be at World of Wheels. So I don't know if I'm going to have much time to work on the car or be in the garage. All right. Oh, okay, yeah. Oh. That's just what I need to trip on air. Here you go, Kim. But yeah, thanks for answering that, Rich. Megan aluminum polish. I don't know how well that focuses. Another product I have used in the past, but I don't find it as good, is Never Dull. And it's like kind of a cloth polish material. You just take a chunk of that out and it does the same thing, but I have found the Mother's Polish with a good rag and a terry cloth. Mwah, works great. Those seatbelts I purchased there, Larry, in my Nova were from Summit Racing because I got the 10% off coupon at the World of Wheels show. So I was able to save, I guess it was, 10%? It would be $32. But the 74 belts, not sure where you can buy those aftermarket or if any of the Nova places do sell them. Let me... I'll make a note here. We'll find out. We'll get you set up, buddy. Larry needs a driver's side seatbelt. Larry's also a fellow neighbor of mine. Lives in Winnipeg, Manitoba, and won't be long before we'll see him on the street. Whoa! Being attacked by a battery. Won't be long before we see him on the street, hopefully, with a working seatbelt. Hey, Ken. Oh, thank you, sir. If you joined us in the first episode stream, I did a walk around the car. You're just looking at the good fender. My car's got a lot of its Canadian rust, corner of the door. And you could actually, if you look at the door, you can see how it goes from shine to kind of blotchiness because I have tried to fix rust, sand it, and spray bomb it and clean it up. Also, my rear quarter lips are rusty and somewhat non-existent. And on the driver's side, I put a hole in at the car wash. But yeah, you're looking at the good side. And the roof, it's pretty faded, but the car is 40-some years old? 46 years old? And the Omega, that's 6 cans of trim clad. Yeah, that paint job cost me close to $80 because I bought the good stuff this last time. Oh, okay. There's a good tip from Jason. Like and follow Summit on Facebook because they post discount codes fairly regularly. I forget who is it on in emails. I'm signed up as one of their emails. I think it's Classic Industries or that. And they also as well will email codes out for weekends like 20, 25% off. So yes, that's where we're at right now. If I had my battery connected, I would have done a demo of the headlights. How I have my headlights with the LEDs hooked up is I have it so when I turn the car on, the LEDs come on with ignition, and that's to give it like a daytime running light, as most of our Canadian cars have to have by law. Older cars are grandfathered, but in some provinces, they're now being forced, drivers are being told to turn their headlights on. So this kind of takes that out. So it'll go on automatically. And with the way I got the relays wired up, when I pull the headlights on, the LEDs turn out. How well will a 455 fit in a 73 from Ken Collins? Oh, thanks, Ken. Ken, the guy to ask about that would be Craig Antonio, as he has a 73 Olds Omega that he's putting, or he's had a 455 in. He's kind of the Omega guy. Where's my pen and paper? I'm going to write that down so I can get you that information. I personally, I don't know. I've always been a small block Chevy guy. As you can see, even by the Omega, when I got the Omega, it was originally a 6-cylinder car, and then I put a 305 in it, which was a small block Chevy I got out of a Pontiac Parisian, just because the 6-cylinder motor was finished. And then I bought a parts car with a 350 Rocket in it, but the price to build the Rocket versus building a 355 was just too much. And then after exchange and shipping and all that, and I was able to build a 355 small block Chevy for a fraction of the price. So that's what I did. But Ken, I'll ask Craig on that one. I'm not sure if Craig's watching. I don't think he's watching. And yeah, 455 Rocket or Pontiac, same motor like the Omega or Ventura. And Brandon, thanks for joining us. And again, I'll get you some links. I'll post those. And Jason, yeah, Ventura, Omega. And there's also, the Ventura is also the 74 Pontiac GTO if you want to get really fancy with names as well. GTO and Venturas are the same. And yeah, difference really between the Omega and a Ventura, besides the taillights, is just the nose piece, but the fenders are the same and impossible to get. I know, as you can actually see, I've got some speed holes right here. Yeah, that's not a dirty camera. That's a speed hole. And then you can actually see the dent over the marker light. That's actually where I hit my Nova with the car. I was parallel parking and backing in back when it had the 6-cylinder springs, and I caught the Nova bumper and it pushed the whole fender in, pulled out the battery, wham, from the inside, and most of it popped out. And yeah, no problem, Brandon. We're here to help. And that's pretty much it. It's 7:05. We've been on for an hour, so unless we got some more questions or whatnot, I'm gonna cut it. Any questions from anybody or anything you want me to kind of look up, try and find some info for? Oh, also for next week, I'm not sure if it's going to be on Tuesday, what time. I got suckered into playing for one of my old ball hockey teams, and they play Tuesday and Thursdays. So I may have to move this to a Wednesday night. I don't want to move it to Friday night because once it gets nice out, I'm going to be out cruising. And who knows what weekends bring. Everybody's busy on the weekends. So next week, of course, I'll post it on the forum. Probably looking at doing it on Wednesday night. Not sure the time yet. I'll get back to you. So I think that's pretty much it. Give you guys a second in case you can think up something or want to wish everyone well, or if you got, I don't know, if you want to brag that your car's out and poor Richard and I are still snowed in Canada, eh? What, you didn't like the egg joke?
That was funny.
I like that.
There's something there.
Oh, 455 for $100? If that's what you're talking about, yeah, that is very cheap. just up here in Canada, it's very pricey to do an Oldsmobile. Like our Canadian dollar to your US dollar, I don't even know if it's 70 cents right now, maybe 70, 71 cents. We take such a bath on exchange, man. Like everything costs us almost a quarter to a third more. And then you add on shipping on top of that. It hurts, man. Like when I built, well, not when I built, when my buddy Dan built, but when we ordered the parts for this motor, I did this motor back in 2012 when the dollar was almost at par. Today, I probably wouldn't have been able to build that motor. Oh, a whole bunch of comments just came in there. Oh, yeah. From Kim. Yeah, you're welcome. I enjoy doing this. If you guys enjoy listening to me yap, so yeah. And Mike, don't forget the Apollo. That could be used for the A as well. Or the earlier Novas were Acadians. And yeah, Buick Apollos. There was a guy at my work. He has a 73 Buick Apollo. Showed me a picture of it in his field. And I got talking to him and, you know, do you want to sell it? And we got talking about the $500 mark. And then I told him I had an Omega. And I showed him pictures of what the Omega looked like and what we did to fix it. What we did to get it on the road. And the next thing I know, the Apollo is no longer for sale and he's fixing it up. Next time I'm keeping my mouth shut. 75 cents. Oh, okay, so it's gone up a bit. Thanks, Rich. It still hurts, though. So again, next week might be a different night because, again, I got ball hockey on Tuesday. I guess it depends what time I play ball hockey. I do want to try and keep it on the same night so you guys know when to come on. And I've been, I forget who I was talking to. I'm not sure if it was Rich. Somebody was asking me about starts in the spring and that. What I'll do is I'll come live and I'll do one of the hanging out in the garage videos. And when we're getting ready to fire up the Nova, and I'll fire up live on Chevy Nova 73, 74. The fuel injection, I'm anticipating it to be just turnkey. And if I'm so allowed to video the Omega on the Chevy Nova channel, you can see me struggle with the choke and play with the gas and try and get that thing bucking and coughing to get going. Fuel injection is so nice. So that's it. We got, I guess, some awkward silence, dead air here. And yeah. So again, I'm Dave Meyer from one of the admins. If you have any problems, please personal message me with questions or send me a chat on Messenger. I like to talk, as you have seen, for the last hour and 8 minutes. So everybody, take care. Remember, smoke tires, not drugs, and we'll see you next week.